Let's cut across because Mr. Birla is addressing the audience at the Vibrant Gujarat Summit.
Plans to invest about 15,000 crores more. This is towards the expansion of our capacities, setting up new plants and environment conservation in line with our principles of responsible stewardship. Amongst our major expansions feature Grasim's viscose staple fiber and chemicals plant at Vilayat and the Indian Rayon viscose filament yarn plant in Veraval. These entail an investment of rupees 7,500 crores. We are also setting up a state-of-the-art plant for the manufacture of in-house developed new generation viscose staple fiber at Kharach. In Grasim's chemicals business, expansions include those in the caustic soda and epoxy plant at an investment of about 1,000 crores. Likewise, towards extending Hindalco's operations in the copper and fertilizer businesses and augmenting the Dahej harbour and infrastructure base, we have a capex of 5,000 crores on the anvil. Yet another 1,000 crores has been allocated for our mining and mineral sectors and solar power businesses.
All right, so that was Mr. Kumar Mangalam Birla addressing the audience at the Vibrant Gujarat Summit, committing some investments. But talking about the stocks again, while the markets recovered a little bit, in fact, Reliance is the one that should come up for you. The Nifty is now in the red by just about 13 odd points, and that is courtesy Reliance. There is a fair amount of recovery there, and HCL Tech too has moved to the high point of the day. One stock which is holding up in the green is Wipro. It's up about 3.5% this week itself. Comes out with its numbers today, and there will be a discussion even on the bonus issue. Rima joins in with the key expectations. Rima?
Yes, so along with numbers, this time the board will also be considering a bonus, and that's the reason why the stock has moved up in the last few days. Notwithstanding that, it's still been an underperformer compared to the Nifty IT in the last 1 year with a rally of just about low single digits. A quick run through of the numbers. Dollar revenue growth is seen higher by 1.5%, and the adjusted margins will be at 17.9%, which compares with 18% in the prior quarter. But these are adjusted in the prior quarter. On a constant currency basis, growth will be seen at 2.5%, which means closer to the upper end of the company's guided band of 1 to 3%. It's the Allied acquisition which will contribute to the top line. The key to track will be their Q4 guidance, which is seen at 1 to 3%. Remember, the March is a seasonally strong quarter for Wipro, and the company has demonstrated good growth rates in that quarter. So we're working with a 1 to 3% guidance for the coming quarters. The investor focus will be on the fact whether the company's performance is sustainable. September was a good quarter for the company. That needs to sustain. Also, currently, the company's growth rates would be in single digits, mid-single digits. When can it get back to industry standards will be tracked very closely. Also, margins are much lower than the company average. They have taken cost-cutting initiatives and to drive some efficiencies. What result can that yield? Also, their healthcare business has seen some weak momentum, so an outlook on that. Energy is also a big contributor to Wipro, and there we've seen crude prices decline, so that will also be key to track. On buyback, the expectation is that once they get all the NCLT approvals for the subsidiary merger, they will do a buyback, so that should happen before the end of this financial year. So if the company has something to say on that, will be important as well, because the street is pricing in a buyback by Wipro in FY19.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much for that, Rima. Well, that stock's doing quite well. Wipro moved to the high point of the day. But Sun Pharma, that's under pressure, big pressure, uncertainty around the regulatory course of action after Moneylife opens the whistleblower complaint document to some institutional investors. Ekta is with us. Ekta, 52-week low for Sun Pharma, sun setting today.
Yes, absolutely, Nigel. Well, significant pressure that we've seen for Sun Pharma today. Now, I have spoken to a couple of people who have managed to actually see the documents which have been available by Moneylife publicly, and only to select investors at this point in time. So one of the key points brought up again is about Aditya Medisales, which is basically the domestic distribution arm of Sun Pharma. Remember, previous allegations have indicated that, it was incorporated in 1990, and the biggest grouse is that it was declared as a related party only in the FY18 annual report. Now, remember that Aditya's Medisales turnover has risen all the way to around 8,000 odd crores as of 2017-18, and compare this to around 557 odd crores in 2003 and 4. The whistleblower report alleges that Aditya Medisales used to divert funds to other promoter entities, and there are bank statements, etc., which have supported this kind of a claim claim in the whistleblower document, including the kind of proximity that the two companies have. So, for example, the office locations that they shared in 5 premises. But remember that this document is also available publicly if you just log on to the Money Life article. So besides that, there are concerns that around 3,000 odd crores was approximately around 3,000 odd crores was loaned to Suraksha Realty by Aditya Medisales. And again, the document contains bank statements indicating this transfer of around 150 crores in terms of loans to Suraksha Realty. Allegations include that, Aditya Medisales used to borrow at around 16% and then give loans to other promoter entities at lower interest rates. So these are basically a lot of the allegations which have been made in the whistleblower complaint as of now. But it's important to basically assess how much of this is legal and how much of this is not legal. Also, how much of this has been approved by SEBI, how much of this impacts the Sun Pharma shareholder directly. So all of these sort of differences have to be made before making a correct assessment on what exactly the way forward would be. Also, remember that Sun Pharma has clarified in the past, they have defended the arrangement, they've been open to a review. For example, there was a call held by them early in December, they said, where AML was brought up, and they have clarified that, a lot of these invoices are in accordance with the applicable tax law. And mainly one of the reasons why Sun was doing a lot of these arrangements was to reduce their tax rate. So let's see, going forward, they had been open to making, the required changes. Let's see what happens going forward. But as of now, one needs to differentiate between what is legal and what is not legal within these documents. There's uncertainty also because not everybody has access to these documents.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for that. In fact, the street will be awaiting some commentary or clarity coming in from the management. But meanwhile, you can see John Chambers, who's the chairman emeritus of Cisco, speaking at the Vibrant Gujarat Summit. So interesting commentary coming in from there. We'll perhaps dip in for a bit. Okay, all right. We will get in more highlights from his speech and other things that are coming in from the Vibrant Gujarat Summit. With that, we wrap up.